Have you ever wondered where the idea of a library came from? Long before digital files and paperbacks, humanity felt a deep need to gather its thoughts, stories, and discoveries in one place. This isn't just a story about books, it's the story of how we began to build our collective memory, one clay tablet and papyrus scroll at a time. Let us travel back to the very dawn of civilization and uncover the secrets of the world's first libraries. Our journey begins over 4,000 years ago in the ancient Near East. Imagine a city bustling with trade and politics, the city of Ebla in modern-day Syria. In the 1970s, archaeologists unearthed a royal archive containing around 20,000 clay tablets. This wasn't a library as we know it today, but it was a monumental first step. These tablets were economic records, legal codes, diplomatic letters, and even dictionaries. They were meticulously organized, sorted by subject, and stored on wooden shelves. Why? For control. For a king to rule a complex society, he needed information at his fingertips. The Library of Ebla shows us that the first impulse to collect knowledge was tied directly to power and administration. It was a tool to manage an empire. This model was repeated across Mesopotamia. Rulers understood that knowledge wasn't just abstract. It was the bedrock of a stable and prosperous kingdom. They collected everything from religious hymns to astronomical observations, creating organized centers of information that were essential for governing. Now, let us jump forward to the 7th century BC and meet a king who was not just a conqueror, but a true scholar. Ashurbanipal, ruler of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. His library at Nineveh was perhaps the first great library in history, built not just for administrative purposes, but out of a genuine passion for knowledge. Ashurbanipal was obsessed with collecting the entire body of Mesopotamian learning. He sent scribes all over his vast empire with a clear mission: find and copy every significant text you can. He wanted everything epics, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, medical texts, magical incantations, scientific treatises, and historical records. Over 30,000 tablets were gathered and systematically cataloged in his palace. Each tablet had a colophon, a kind of ancient metadata, which identified the original text and sometimes even noted who copied it. Ashurbanipal's library was a conscious effort to preserve a culture. He saw that by gathering all this knowledge, he wasn't just empowering his rule, he was safeguarding his civilization's soul for future generations. And he succeeded. Without his library, many of the most important texts from ancient Mesopotamia would have been lost to time forever. As empires shifted, so did the technology of writing. In ancient Egypt, the brittle clay tablet gave way to something far more portable and versatile: the papyrus scroll. The Egyptians had been using papyrus for millennia, and with it, their concept of the library evolved. Temples often housed collections of religious and scientific texts, known as the Houses of Life. Here, scribes meticulously copied sacred rituals, medical procedures, mathematical formulas, and astronomical charts. These libraries were exclusive, sacred spaces accessible only to priests in the pharaoh's inner circle. Knowledge was a divine gift, and its keeping was a sacred duty. The library wasn't just a repository of information. It was a place where knowledge was actively created and protected. The ability to read and write was a rare skill, and those who possessed it held immense influence. So in Egypt, the library became even more deeply intertwined with religious authority and the mystique of the ruling class. Controlling the scrolls meant controlling the narrative of the gods and the kingdom. The next great leap forward came from the ancient Greeks. They democratized knowledge in a way the world had never seen before. While early Greek libraries were mostly private collections owned by wealthy philosophers and aristocrats, the idea of knowledge as a public good began to take root. Thinkers like Aristotle amassed huge personal libraries to fuel their philosophical and scientific inquiries. His collection was legendary, covering everything from biology to politics. But it was Aristotle's student who would take the idea of a library to an unprecedented scale. When Alexander the Great marched across the known world, he and his generals were inspired by the cultures they encountered, and they carried with them the Greek love for learning. This fusion of cultures set the stage for the most famous library of the ancient world. Welcome to Alexandria, founded by Ptolemy I, one of Alexander's generals. The Library of Alexandria was more than just a collection of scrolls. It was a global research institution. Its ambition was nothing short of breathtaking. to collect a copy of every single book in the world. Ships docking in Alexandria's harbor were searched for scrolls, which were then confiscated and copied by an army of scribes. The original was kept for the library, and the copy was returned to its owner. At its peak, the library may have held hundreds of thousands of papyrus scrolls. Scholars from all over the Hellenistic world flocked to Alexandria to study, debate, and write. It had lecture halls, observatories, and gardens. Here, the circumference of the earth was first calculated with astounding accuracy. The Hebrew Bible was translated into Greek. Euclid wrote his Elements of Geometry. The Library of Alexandria was a vibrant, living center of intellectual life, a beacon of human curiosity that shone for centuries. It represents the pinnacle of the ancient world's quest for knowledge, a place where learning was pursued for its own sake. The tragic decline and eventual destruction of the Library of Alexandria is a story of its own, a cautionary tale about the fragility of knowledge. But its legacy is undeniable. The idea of the library as a state archive, a cultural treasury, a public utility, and a research center had been firmly established. These ancient institutions laid the foundation for every library, university, and museum that followed. They taught us that collecting and sharing knowledge is one of the most powerful things we can do as a species. It's how we build on the past, understand the present, and imagine a better future. The quiet, ordered shelves of your local library are the direct descendants of Ashurbanipal's clay tablets and Alexandria's fabled scrolls. They are a testament to a timeless human impulse, the drive to learn, to remember, and to share. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient history, please give this video a like and subscribe for more stories about how our world came to be. Let me know in the comments which ancient wonder you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.